Hello, my name is Michael Schoenbeck, a librarian from the UC Berkeley Public Health Library. Welcome to the second in a series of library modules to introduce you to the resources available to you, how to find and evaluate them. I'm just going to be scratching the surface here again, so come back to the web page and take a look yourself. I'm starting from the library homepage, but I'm going to go ahead and navigate again to the OOMPH page. The URLs are on your email, and here's the URL to this page here. Today I'm going to talk about evaluating the information that you do find. So I'm going to click this link here, critically evaluating what you find, which will shoot us down to this part of the web page. So you search PubMed, you search all these databases, you find a bunch of articles. So how can you take a look at these and give them a little critical evaluation? Well, of course, all research is evidence and there's no perfect studies. So let's start by saying that. But that being said, let's take a careful look at some of the articles we find. Were the right questions asked? So you might find an article that says, this intervention was great, it worked. But what you might want to think is, well, does it work better than other interventions that are out there? Which works best? Did this article consider that? Something to think about. Are there conflicts of interest? Who is paying for the research? A lot of big money goes into scientific research, and sometimes you want to know who is paying for it. Does that mean it's bad science if the research is funded by a particular, say, commercial entity? Not necessarily, but it is something to think about. And here's a little exercise for you to do, to take a look at this article and compare it to these articles and see if you can detect a difference in the conclusions there. What kind of documentation and assumptions are in the articles you're reading? Are assumptions posited as fact? You might find an article where it says, well, as it's well known, XYZ. But you might think to yourself, well, I don't know XYZ. I'd like to see a citation for that, please. What are some other methodology issues? Sample size, surveying, all kinds of things to consider. Is it peer-reviewed? Was the article peer-reviewed? Does it matter? Well, there might be problems with peer review, but it's probably the best we've got yet to help, at least, with the quality of study or writing up studies. Now, non-peer-reviewed stuff can still be good science, and a lot of the non-journal literature especially is not peer-reviewed. Publication bias. What kind of articles get published in the first place? People that would be researchers as well as journal editors and publishers tend not to publish articles that write up research where nothing happened. So I did an intervention, and the people who came out at the end of the intervention were no better off than the control group. That kind of stuff is less likely to get published than a positive change or even a negative change. And finally, I'd like you to think about the appropriateness of a single study. So it's easy to find a single study that will prove almost anything, but science is incremental. And what would be more important is to see a series of articles that report a trend of leading towards a similar conclusion. That would be more significant than a single article that says this worked. Okay, we have a link here to the UK's Critical Appraisal Skills Program, and they have this lovely set of PDF checklist documents that you can download where they have them for different kinds of studies. So if I'm reading an article that's a cohort study, I can download a 3-page PDF that just takes you step by step, asking you questions to answer that will help you evaluate this study. And these are highly recommended for you to help determine the significance of the article you're reading.